Hey guys, Wayne G. Hammond here. Welcome back to my channel of a 38-year-old dad taking back his life. I started the challenge quite motivated, I'm not going to lie. I had like a mini program set out. I was going to jog every morning and I was going to just, wake up. I normally wake up between 3 and 4 and I was going to go for a jog and get my exercise in. So already on day one, I had a problem. I was super motivated to start training, running, and generally, I wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning. And I was going to go for a run quite nice and early. And we have this little dog that adopted us. And this is what it looks like over here. Nonetheless, this little guy has the body of a chicken, but he's got the heart of a lion. So whenever I leave the gate and I want to go for a run and I don't take him with, he kind of follows me. He runs out of his little doggy door and he kind of follows me around. And the first day that I went to go for a run, he went and he started to attack the neighbor's dogs that normally attack him. So that didn't work out. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll just take my car and take a drive to the beach because that way he doesn't follow me. And I took a little bit of a run back after he ran after me and wanted to fight with the neighbor's dogs. And I had a look at the time and it was still super early. So one of the restrictions that we have on our company cars that I have is that we cannot drive them between the hours of 10 at night and 5 in the morning. So I had to wait until 5 o'clock in the morning in order for me to leave. So I had to kind of shift my program up that I wanted to do. And I left at 5 o'clock and I managed to get my 5K run in. And I just had to shift a couple of things, but I had a couple of challenges. And so day number one happened and I did my 5K run and it wasn't the best. And I took a couple of pictures and I took a couple of videos. This is basically what happened on the 5K. So I'm driving up to a spot which is quite popular. It's quite flat, and I'm going to be attempting to do a 5K run. It's going to be the first one I've done in a very long time, and it's going to be the first one I've done on this challenge, obviously. So yeah, wish me luck. At least it runs right next to the beach, so it's got some amazing scenery. Okay, that was shocking. It was the first 5K I've done properly in a long time, so it's been a couple of years. Feeling kind of shocking. I did feel like giving up a few times, I'm not gonna lie, but I pushed through it. Not my best time. I did 5Ks in 40 minutes, so that's shocking for me. I used to be on like 19, 18 minutes for a 5K, so I've nearly doubled my time. I said catch my breath there. Yeah, so 40 kilometers for 5Ks is like double what I used to, so I've got a lot of work to do. I'm super proud of myself for not stopping. I did use motivation though, which I'll speak a little bit more about later. And I'm gonna go have a shower. So as you can see, I kind of struggled through it, but one of my biggest motivators was a little bit before I did that, I wanted to try skipping. And this was, I think, the day before, maybe the Sunday. And I skipped for probably about 2.5 minutes. And I nearly died. And one of my family members, they were looking around the corner laughing at me. And they said, I'm going to get my phone. I want to show everyone how unfit you are, blah, blah, blah. You can't even do 2.5 minutes of skipping. So the sad thing about it is this person has been on their own weight loss journey and their own fitness journey for over 15 years. And they've started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped. They weren't constant. And never once was I ever against them. Never once did I say anything negative. I was always there supporting. Now, this person, the first time that I'm actually doing something of this magnitude with this much effort, was there mocking me making fun of me, laughing at me, making a joke about it. So that was actually a blessing in disguise, because while I was on my 5K run, there were so many times I wanted to stop, I wanted to stop, I wanted to stop, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, I'm gonna do this because I'm better than this. Even though I was there supporting this person over all these years and their weight loss journeys that they failed, um, this person just mocked me when I wanted to try and go through mine. So I kind of used that as motivation to push me to get through my 5K that I did on that morning. Second kind of weight training that I did, obviously, well, the third type was the skipping. I already brought that up. And the second type of weight training that I wanted to do, the exercise, was I filled um, a pillowcase with sea sand. So part of this challenge is I wanted to make it as easy as possible. If anyone does follow me and they literally on the same path as me and they're like don't have the funds, I didn't want it to be something that not everyone can do. So I try to make it as easy as possible. So I just had a spare pillowcase around, I filled it with sea sand, and I started to do burpee push up and then also some shoulder press with it. And yeah, I made it about 22 kilos. My son measured it for me. So yeah, there's a little bit of footage of that. The next was the eating window. So the warrior fast is you fast for 20 hours and you eat for 4 hours a day. That wasn't that hard for me because that's generally how I live. Being a car salesman like I am, you kind of have a busy day. If you're in the car sales, you kind of understand the way I live. So you kind of get to work and it's just non-stop chaos from the time you get there. So I generally don't eat during the day, and yeah, that was the easiest part for me to eat from like 5 in the afternoon until 9 at night. So I didn't have any problems with that. And yeah, I kind of stuck to basic meals. Like I said, I wasn't going to make it anything healthy, anything over the top. I just stuck to regular meals that regular people would have just to ease into the first 2 weeks of the challenge. Challenge was getting 3 liters of water in a day. Now, this might seem like an easy feat, but for me, it really isn't, or it really wasn't. So, I've got a challenge that I have, and the challenge is I can't drink water at work. Well, I can't drink the water at work because we have the sign up that tells us that we cannot drink the water at work. Now, this is because the water at work is pumped from a borehole, and unfortunately, in the area that I live in, the amount of E. coli and stuff like that that is found under the water table where the rivers and stuff have been running in, and I really don't know the science behind it, but somehow some nasty stuff has gotten into the water system, so we can't really drink it without getting sick and that kind of stuff. So I don't drink water at work, so I had to try and fit my 3 liters in when I was at home. So 1.5 when I was at home in the morning and 1.5 in the evening. Again, it sounds kind of easy, but it wasn't really the easiest thing to do. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh, why don't you just take water to work?" I am super fussy, I'm not gonna lie. If I have a water bottle, I'd have to keep it with me 24/7 because I don't know what someone's gonna be putting in there, if someone's going to be using my water bottle or whatever the case is. I am a super untrusting person. So what I did was I drank my 1.5 liters in the morning and I lived off of coffee. This is what my coffee looked like. And then I drank my 1.5 liters in the evening with my dinner and stuff like that. So that was how I got through that challenge. So from my measurements, I have lost a little bit of weight. I'm not going to go too much in detail about fats and everything yet because that's for the next part of my challenge. So the next part of the challenge is going to be 4 weeks. 4 weeks is going to be the next phase. The focus on this isn't going to be anything hectic. Like I said in the beginning, I want to ease into this challenge. So for if someone's completely beginner, I want them to be able to do the same thing. So the next 4 weeks, I'm going to start monitoring what I'm eating and counting calories. So I'm not going to be using any strict methods, just basically stuff that you can find on the internet. If you put in how much a medium potato would be calorie wise and how many calories a 38-year-old would burn doing a 5 kilometer jog that weighs 72 Ks, whatever the case is. It's going to be basic stuff that the regular person would be able to do. I'm not going to go too far and get too deep into it. Not yet, anyway. So obviously, as the challenge goes on and progresses, I am going to get a little bit more deeper and start using my personal training studies that I did, incorporate that into the challenge as well. So the rules for the next 4 weeks are going to be as follows. I need to carry on with my activity, need to carry on with the water, and I'm going to be skipping the warrior fast, but I need to stick to a deficit caloric intake on a daily basis. So generally, me and my lifestyle in the work that I do, I generally burn about 1,500 calories a day just by existing and doing the work that I do. So I'm going to try and burn an additional 1,000 calories a day, and obviously stick to eating under 2,500 calories a day. And yeah, just be in a caloric deficit. So it's going to be a big thing for me. Stick to the 3 liters of water a day, and I'm going to be tracking my calories. So I'm not going to be doing anything intense like macro tracking yet. That's going to be in the next phase. But just for now, I'm just going to be tracking calories. That's going to be the only thing. So I'm not going to be doing the macro and micronutrients yet. I'm just going to be tracking calories. That's it. So like always, guys, please like and subscribe if you're keen to go on the challenge with me. If you are on the challenge with me, let me know. Comment what day you're on, if you're with me on the challenge, or if you know of a dad or maybe just anyone that would be keen to go on the challenge with me, please like, subscribe, share the video with them. My next goal would be in 4 weeks' time. I want to get to at least 30 subscribers, so I'd like to get there. If you can just help me out with that. Also, I want to inspire as many dads as possible or people as possible that have been there struggling with their weight. Maybe no one's been there to help them out, support them. I want to inspire as many people as possible while I go on my journey.